What if I told you that the greatest battle is not being successful, but it's about knowing or learning that you're loved? It's really great to talk about this topic. Talking about knowing or living out your purpose or your calling here in your life. It's because, let's admit it, there are times or seasons in our life questioning ourselves that, are we really living the purpose or calling in this life? Where's the purpose, right? What's the sense of living if we are not walking in that purpose of life? And it feels empty. I have experienced it. If you've been human or been living here for quite some time now, I am pretty sure you've experienced that. You've asked yourself that. And why are you feeling empty? Is there purpose in life, right? And in the midst of searching, what's really your purpose? We will experience this kind of sense that we are really in need to walk a purposeful life, not what you see in fantasies. Not talking about that. We're talking about serving other people, right? Achieving a goal, or really fulfilling a dream, or even fulfilling a dream of someone else. And that has been normal in our generation right now. It's easy to see or check or even be envious that other people are fulfilling this purpose. And you sometimes ask yourself, even in the beginning or in the first phase of trying to be purposeful, or live a purposeful life, let's say, you're already in starting, like, how do you get started, or you know already how to start, you know what you need to do, you know the knowledge, or maybe you're trying to navigate still. Whichever you are in the beginning phase, of course you will experience, you will not appreciate for sure the results, earlier results, because there's less to none results yet. That's why we have this quote that most people overestimate what they can do in 1 month or the beginning phase, and they underestimate what they can do in 10, 20 years, 30 years. So it's not really about the beginning phase. That's actually the building phase. You can build your character, your personality, your skills. It's gonna also build your perseverance, because also your courage. If you're gonna look at human history, all of the known people that are inspiring, that are impactful, that lived a purposeful life, has perseverance and courage. Through courage, that in living a purposeful life, I'm pretty sure that the equalizer of living a purposeful life is learning that you are loved, right? And if you know that you are loved by someone else, right? Let's say, I'm pretty sure you experienced being loved, having a crush, and someone has a crush on you, right? High school, college, or even elementary. You were seeing social media. It's really cute too. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen some videos. A kindergarten having this cute video that he or she has a crush on someone, and it's cute too, that he or she gets to express, right? And as we, of course, we grow older, we as much as possible, we hid those so that we can't, or well, because it's shameful for others to know that you have a crush on someone, unless you want to publicize it. That's a different topic. But as much as possible, we want to hid it as we grow older, right? But there's something about if someone has, or someone admires you, or someone cares for you, or someone really loved you, and you know it, and it's genuine. And personally, of course, I have experienced it. It's a different vibe. It adds different color. Your day is vibrant as day goes by, and it's because your parents, your loved ones. It's you gotta be honest. If they love us, occasionally, especially if the birthday occasion that you have, expressing gratefulness, exchanging messages, it boosts the affection or the relationship with someone, with them. But in the normal days, you don't naturally remind yourself that you're loved by them, right? Unless you saw a social media post that you're loved by your parent, some motivational talks. But you're getting what I'm saying for sure. That talking about if you experience this affection, or if someone cares for you deeply, and if you know it, whether it's a romantic feeling, whether it's a loved one of yours, it adds color to your day, just like I mentioned earlier. And that's what it feels like to live a life. Someone loves you, that that has a cleanest track record. Because I would not say all, but most of us, experience relationships that just in the beginning, I don't want to kind of be off trail here and be off topic. That's really a different topic for another, talking about broken relationships. But we experienced having relationships that is not trustworthy. He or she is not trustworthy. Broken trust, for sure. And it's really hard to bounce back from that loss, from that brokenness, right? And kind of sets up your season, sets up your year. That it's a really bad year already, bad season already, bad chapter already. And I'm a big believer that those things, of course, we have free will. We own our decisions. At the very beginning, we are there because of our decisions, right? But at the same time, we are talking about learning from those mistakes. And I'm pretty sure you've heard this, but it really needs to be repeated, right? That if yes, mistakes, there's no mistakes, there's just lesson learned. But it can be a lesson learned if you don't learn from those mistakes. It will be a mistake if you don't learn from it, right? So you have lessons from there. You're gonna get some tidbits if you see the better perspective, and you're gonna grow. You're gonna be a bigger person. You're gonna mature. And but I've saw, and I know you saw some. Most of us saw people's testimonies, stories, right. That it's not unique to us anymore. That they bounce back from a not so good relationship, and they now living a wonderful, beautiful, impactful, inspiring marriage. Right? We saw that, and it's just basically saying that it's possible. That if they can experience it, you can experience. And I love, a podcast, someone else that there's a science to it, and you can call it a science if it's repeatable, if it's doable, and if it has principles by it that you can just follow. And in other words, there's science into bouncing back or having great relationships or good relationships, right? So it's really great for us that, in order for us to experience that. So you have let me tell you this, if you don't know yet, we are all meant to invest in the next generation, no matter where you are right now, right? You are meant to have a great family, regardless if you are single or, of course, your blessed singleness. They would say, you grow up single, you still have an opportunity to share your love to your relatives. You are meant to have an excellent career, leave a dent in this universe. You don't have to be Steve Jobs or Elon Musk or any celebrity, any billionaires that you can think of. Just, if you just do excellence, if you honor people, serve people, you will definitely leave a dent or great footprint that in this universe that you walked onto. Because at the end of the day, we will leave Earth, and there's just two stories. It's you leaving a footprint or dent in this universe, or you didn't. And you have free will. You have responsibility to your life. And that's why living to be, or learning and living to be loved, is a must. And it's a battle that we fight in, because of this Z generation right now, especially. We have these distractions and temptations, right? That it's really a battle. It's really a battle. But if if you know that God loves you, cares for you, that has a track record of being faithful, keeping His promises, and just giving it, I tell you, whenever you know or remind yourself of it, it adds a different level of color in your day. I remember when I first known Christ, first known Jesus, first known God in a deeper level, you will have this sense of different passion, right? I'll tell you, you will be a changed person. Changed person. For all Christians out there, there are many times that you surrender your lives to the Lord. There are private altar calling, right? It just basically means that most of the Christians uh, they just surrender their life to the Lord one time. Yeah, I've known some Christians that asks baptisms several times because they just feel like they they need to do this, and there's nothing wrong about it. They're just, just expressing that they have this new life in the Lord in this chapter of this in this specific chapter of their life. And that's how it is. And if you continue to learn, that's why spiritual disciplines, knowing his word, attending services, being part of a small group, being mentored or mentoring others. If of course, that's our commission and that's our calling, right? And talking about being religious, it's not really being religious. It's really about surrounding yourself with great systems, great communities, great people, of course, that will help you grow and learn that you are loved. Because our default is, if you just neglect, right? They say, if you want to experience negative things, you just neglect sex. All of the positive things you need to be intentional, right? You need to be intentionally wake up early in the morning, have a great habit, so that you will have studies as great performance in the day. Or you do this routine of yours. You need to take a bath, right? Brush your teeth, work out if you want to have a great body. You want to be successful in your career. So you need to build these disciplines and habits in yours, right? You need to study. You extend your capability or your efforts, right? And also in relationships, in marriages, you want to have a positive, healthy relationship. You need to be intentional to them, right? What I'm saying is, all of the positive things here on earth, it needs intentionality. If you want negative things, you want not so good results, you just need to neglect it. That's why if you want to learn to be loved, because it's really crucial if you want to walk in this life purposefully, right? You need to know that you're loved by God. And one of the chapters I love and I embrace, and I've heard that some of my mentors, from some of the speakers or preachings that I've heard, and it always dawns to me, it always resonates to me whenever I hear the verse. I won't say the verse just to give a raw content, not feel. I know, of course, it's foundation. You need to still say Bible verses. I just don't memorize it, but in your own research, it's a psalm about your identity and how you are wonderfully and beautifully made. What struck me in that verse is you are, of course, wonderfully made. The complex of our body composition, cells, that's a different dynamic. What it struck me in that chapter is, He is watching us while we are being created in our mother's womb. Who does that? Even our mothers sleep when we are in their womb, right? And while we are growing up, He has been faithful to us. Just the level, just the epitome of how caring, how faithful God is to us. If you know someone like that loves you, and that's why you need to be reminded time and time again. You need to be surrounded by people who, of course, devoted to Him, because they will remind you. Of course, community as well. If you know that, I will assure you, there's no reason for you not to live life as if you're not loved. Alright, so, and I believe in you. I believe in you. I have confidence in God. I have confidence in you. You are meant to bring impact. All of us are meant to bring impact into this world. Just need to learn to be loved for you to attain that, to be consistent, to live life that you ought to be, and to continuously live life that you should, because God loves you and He wants you to live a life learning to be loved. That's it for me. See you again next week or for the next content. Have a great day.